In discussing Ukraine, I think one point that needs to be made at the outset is it's an unusual country. The name Ukraina means on the frontier, and traditionally this area was, going back to the 1600s, was kind of a power vacuum among the great powers of Muscovy or Russia to the north, the Ottoman Turks to the south, Poland to the west. It never existed as an independent country until 1991, when the Soviet Union collapsed. Ukraine really consists of 4 different areas that were cobbled together under the Soviets. In the far east of Ukraine, around the cities of Kharkov and Donetsk, these areas are predominantly Russian-speaking. They had a connection to Russia going back to the middle of the 1600s. Kiev itself came under Moscow's control for the first time in 1667. If you go a little bit to the west, though, of Kiev, that is west of the Dnieper River, you come to a territory that was annexed by Russia during the closing years of the 18th century as a result of the partitions of Poland. And this area is largely Ukrainian-speaking today. If you go to the far west of Ukraine, to the area around Lviv, or as the Russians call it Lvov, or as the Poles call it Lvov, you come to a territory that was never part of Imperial Russia. First came under Soviet control during World War II, when they expanded their borders to the west, following the Red Army's victory in World War II. Then you have the Crimean Peninsula in the south, where this crisis has been taking place. For Russians, Crimea really resonates in their history. In 1783, Russia gained control of the Crimean Peninsula during the reign of Catherine the Great, following a series of wars with the Ottoman Turks. But then once in the 19th century, another time in the 20th century, it was the scene of very fierce fighting and prolonged siege. Between 1853 and 1856, Russia fought in the Crimean War against the Ottoman Empire, backed up by Britain and France. And the main battle of the Crimean War was a prolonged siege of some 11 months of the port city of Sevastopol, where the Black Sea Fleet was based. More Russians died in the Crimean War than Americans died in all of World War II. So well over 400,000 Russian military personnel died during the Crimean War. And this resonates in Russia's past. The other moment was during the Second World War. In 1941-1942, Nazi Germany laid siege to Sevastopol for some 8 months. The Soviets had to abandon Sevastopol. Now, of course, at the end of the war, they got Sevastopol back when they pushed Nazi Germany out of Soviet territory. But for these reasons, the Crimean Peninsula, the city of Sevastopol in particular, has tremendous resonance for ordinary Russians. It's something like, we can't find a good analogy in American history, but maybe something like Pearl Harbor for them. What Mr. Putin is angling for in the rest of Ukraine, it would appear, is a decentralized federal structure, whereby Russia from the outside could exert pressure on the Russian-speaking areas of Ukraine in the east and the south, and thereby could frustrate or veto any prominent legislation coming out of Kiev. In particular, Mr. Putin seems bent on keeping Ukraine out of the European Union and out of NATO. What's difficult for the West, and why the West can't accept this, is the West cannot accept, or has said it will not accept, the recognition of Crimea being part of Russia, because international agreements were signed, particularly in 1994, recognizing the integrity of Ukraine. And if this treaty were just overlooked and the West recognized Crimea as being part of Russia, it would appear that we're going down a road of appeasement, like in the 1930s with Germany.